Well, what'd she say?
She introduced all of us.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
I only heard.
Studio, like,
I heard 2 names.
We're live.
Oh, what's good,
live.
people?
Hey, it's Los in the building.
We'll make it.
If y'all didn't know, that drop was recorded a couple weeks ago. We got one now, so we don't have to worry about introducing each and every one of us. Unfortunately, Queen J couldn't be here today. She's working. Shout out to the Marines, I guess, for giving out weekend duty and whatnot.
Oh, I love weekend duty, man. I used to make $80 a pop.
I hated weekend duty.
Yeah.
Is it still 24 on, 24 off, or 24 on, 12 off?
Man, she's got the entire weekend.
She's not doing barracks duty then.
Yes, that's what it is.
Barracks duty?
Yeah.
Not for the whole weekend?
Yeah, it is. That's how it is now.
No.
How you gonna tell me? You want to message her?
You don't do barracks duty.
Let's call her.
That's 48 hours.
It's not like no. Her unit got in trouble, so they have to do this tier card thing now and all this other stuff. You know, I don't know anything about the Marines,
that's not
so
duty, that's
our
just,
condolences.
That's restriction.
That's restriction.
That's restriction.
Nah, it's her duty because they have different duties every single day they have to do, and it falls on the weekend sometimes, and it's her turn this weekend, so she has to stay in the room for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So and they come and sign out from her.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No sex, love, or
Yeah,
relationships?
that's definitely
No sex.
No,
love, or
shout out to
relationships.
Queen J for working hard.
Yeah, she in there.
They having sex level.
Free J.
She better come out with good topics.
Free J.
Free J.
I'm talking about J's.
Hopefully she's being creative right now.
Gotcha.
Somebody
Gotcha.
caught it.
Queen Gelato.
Somebody caught it.
Queen Gelato.
Sunrise and
Oh,
everything.
hold on.
All right, so before we get into the meat and potatoes, does anybody have anything they want to cover before we start?
We need to get on DJ.
Well, when you talk about
You
DJ,
want me to segue it?
that date,
You want me to bring it in or what? What is the proper way to ask a woman out on a date?
I think
A
it's,
grown
I thought
woman.
it's cute.
a grown woman?
If it was Chris, it'd be like, "Yo, what's good, ma?"
No, it's not be like that. No.
Good, ma.
Actually, no. I'll be like, yo, I already done set up this dinner for
I think
you.
you should compliment first and then ask.
I thought it's a cute deal.
You
Let
know,
me
this
take
is
you
a
on a
good
date.
question.
It's cute.
This is a good question. I had one of the guys that I work with. He's very like inexperienced with
Females?
Yeah, he's like very young, and he's like, so there's this cute girl I saw at the medical group, and like I just don't know how to like
Damn.
go
What's her
ask
name?
her out. Should I just go ask her out? Like, do I give her my phone number? Like, how does this work? And I'm like,
Oh my god,
dude, that's a good question because like I don't
Say
even.
A business card?
I guess.
You said, how did it work?
I feel like if a random dude that because she drew his blood, and it was an appointment.
Oh, I
And
know
so,
who it is.
So he was like attracted to her, but he didn't know how to like what to do. And I was like, honestly, if a dude asked me out on a date on the spot without like building some type of conversation, I'd probably say no.
Yeah.
But if he asked me for my phone number, I would most likely say okay or some type of social media. So I was like, start with that maybe. But which is sad because why should I be so non-confrontational about it instead of being like, you know what, maybe let's just go
are
out.
people that into a rush to
Right.
want to speak to somebody right then and there? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
well, I'm about to message her right now.
Let's just
I'm telling her that she
hear
got
me
a
out for a
crush.
second, all right?
Oh, my
My
bad.
goodness,
This is
don't
a
do
very,
that.
very small island, and she obviously works at the hospital, which means you're going to see her again. So
Yes.
me, you know how I do. I take the slow roll, find out something about her, and talk about it. Not that she has something to do with
That's
it,
the way you do
but because, like, say she posted a picture on her Instagram about a book she read. Read that book
Go talk about
and
it.
go talk about the
I
book.
like it, Losa.
I like it.
I like it,
The art of
Losa.
war.
Are
It's just
people
like that.
really that slow?
Well, okay,
you know what I'm
it's-
saying?
no,
You
but-
plant the seed. You have to plant the seed, and then you fuck it. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
You plant the seed.
You gotta water it, man.
Bro, you plant the seed, right? Like he said, you plant the seed. You know what she's interested in. You become interested in that subject, and then you got something to talk about. Then, if you can make her laugh, you have a good chance of
Exactly.
True statement.
That's what I do.
That's always a good one.
That's
you,
what I do.
You have a whole cheat sheet on everybody. Most people. I won't say everybody. Most people have social media, and you can just go through and see
you
what
go
they
through-
like.
Yeah, which is why I
Anything.
told him, I was like, just go back and say, hey, can I add you on like Instagram or Snapchat or something like
I
that.
see you
and
like
start
lingerie.
there.
Yep. I be going through girls' slang. I'm like, oh,
I see like
Listen,
McDonald's. What number
Not
are you
even
at?
that. Not even that. You don't even have to ask
Yeah.
her. You don't even have to ask her if you can add her on there. All you got to do is find out what her name is. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You find out what her name is, you can find her. This is the world we live in. Facebook, most people go by their first and last name.
Well, he was very inexperienced, so I was like, bro.
Hey, I
I
hope
saw-
he, I
Wait,
hope
how
he's listening.
inexperienced is he?
To find out about her like before you really go up to her. You know,
He's like
go ahead,
virgin
get
type?
that- Go ahead, get that background check in and.
So my friend say he video call her or that whatever who he
What?
wants to go on a date with before he go out with because he said video call you can do the app or filter. So a lot of
you're talking
pictures
about-
being, filtered and all that. So some people are way different, like girls and makeup, all that stuff. So he's like, he always makes sure he called her first on a video call and talked to her and see
Lame.
her actually.
Lame.
Are you saying this like in if they meet like on a social dating, like on a dating app?
You never met her in your video call?
That's why I'm like, I don't know.
No.
That's kind of borderline creepy, right?
Imagine you just chilling in a random vehicle. You never met this person. You're like,
Who the
Like, he been talking, but he wanna, go on a date. But
Oh, so like 2 messages.
Like,
Hey,
so he was,
Okay,
hey,
but
I'm
if
about
you-
to video call you real quick. Stand by. Like,
I had a girl do that to me though.
and you have to up the nostril shots.
I had a girl do that to me though.
Okay, question though. If you meet this girl or dude on a dating app and y'all been
That's not
texting
wifey.
and y'all been
That's a one night.
we're not talking about finding wife. We're talking about if you're getting
Right.
catfish or not. Like, I think that's what
okay.
she's trying to get at.
Dating app
'Cause-
is not the way to go, I think.
I agree, but I'm saying I've heard people do that. Like they'll text and exchange photos, or maybe look at each other's photos on social media, but then they'll like FaceTime
No,
before they actually
that's lame.
like meet up to see each
No,
other.
you gotta just take the L.
Yeah, you gotta take
Take
that
that
out.
Gotta meet up.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because if
Gotta
I
meet
go,
up.
I'm gonna say, yo, I'm gonna
That's
meet
the
you.
only way.
Guess what? If
I
I
think
meet
you should
the
meet face to face.
Yeah,
before
I like-
you
I like
ask
that.
The person on a date. Like it's not
No.
like
Yeah, I don't like dating apps.
Let me tell you why I think that you should just meet up. All right, because we live in a very microwave era where things need to happen like
30 seconds.
quick. So take it from me. I've done it before. I've been talking to a chick on Tinder. It was like back in 2016, and then I just showed up for our date. She came out and she didn't look like what I seen on Tinder, so I left.
Sure,
That's
sure.
it.
You left.
I left.
You left.
I left
Wait, why'd you leave again?
because she didn't look like what I seen on the Tinder
I think that's
picture.
legit.
Yeah, you don't have to video
I
call.
think that's legit.
No,
I still would have smashed.
it's
Why you-
the honest
Oh my
truth.
God.
It's very hurtful, but
Why
if
you
you're gonna
impersonating?
pretend to
Don't
be something
impersonate.
that you're not, then you got to swallow that pill.
I
that goes for
still,
everyone in Okinawa.
I still would have smashed though.
No, thank you.
I would smash.
I'm
and
not
then be
that
like,
pressed for pussy to.
No,
just-
I'm saying I'm
You know
not
what I'm
pressed,
saying?
but that's I already waste my time already, so I might as
Maybe
well.
for the case that who you were talking about, the guy, or who was it you that said the guy at the hospital?
Yeah, the guy. me.
He's not experienced, right? So
Exactly.
like we're experienced enough to know these. He's not. So he has to go through these mistakes and get catfish properly.
That's the
Hopefully
only way.
not.
That's the
Hopefully
only way.
Not. But man, that sucks. This day.
Well, there you have it. You got your advice from the Heat cast.
Tell him to
Yes.
come
You
in.
just got to.
Hey,
You just
come
gotta-
by.
Wrong person.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go talk to her tomorrow on Monday for him though.
Ask the
I don't even know what his name is.
No, I'm not putting his name out.
Hey, do you wanna
That's
take
it.
some
No, no,
of
no,
Ross?
no, no, no. I'm glad you
I'm
said
not outing
that.
out.
How do y'all feel about wingmen? You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
man.
Because I
I'm the
dislike
perfect
that.
wingman.
I
I'm gonna go in and
dislike
like,
that.
yo, I know
Wingman
somebody.
that take the girl.
No,
I
wingman.
say, what was
Wingman.
that was on the 5 heartbeats. That happened too much.
So hold on, let me ask the ladies first. How do you feel about a dude having someone speak for him, like being his spokesperson? Because the dude that is into you is too shy.
Usually,
And then
there's
I'll-
different
I'll ask
categories
the-
Yeah.
of wingmen.
I'll
now.
ask the dudes after, but I just want to hear what females think about that.
That happens. That has happened to me a lot, like in the clubs, for example.
Exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
where it
Yeah.
happens.
Usually, my response is, if he's that interested, tell him to come talk to me.
What if he too scared though?
Like not like in a
like-
mean way, but I'm saying like for real. Like I'm not that. I'm not a bitch. I'm not gonna be.
The worst you can say
Me
is no.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
what.
I could say no, and I'm usually nice. Like if you compliment me, I'm like, oh, thank you, you know. But if I seem like I'm not that interested anymore, and I'm like, okay, I'm done, then I'm done. But usually, yeah, tell him to come talk to me.
Yeah.
What about you, Em?
Yeah.
Me too, because this happened last week. So my friends bring his guy. He's a new here, whatever.
Damn.
And he's like, and we said, hey, what's up? Out of the club, right? And like 4 hours later, he said, hey, my friend say he think you're cute. Really? When we
So
shook hand
dead.
and said, hey, this is who
So
and who,
dead.
you didn't tell me, and like, oh, he wants you to take her out. But
What?
you telling me for him, like,
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't he have a
I'm
mouth?
I don't like that
Yeah.
category of wingman, but there's different
women.
categories. Yeah, there's
Like,
different
I have my
categories.
boys
of
go
wingmen.
up to a girl, act like an asshole, and I go and save her from that asshole.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's divide and conquer right
You got
Listen.
your one that
I know
thrills
what
it
you
in.
mean.
You got
Yeah.
those.
Go ahead.
We're
talk
talking
about
about
it.
we're talking about two different.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what
Talk
I'm saying.
about it.
There's
That-
separate. There's separate.
No.
There's several.
I condone that. That's fine. That's like
That's
a
good. I
that's
like
like a
that.
well-written screenplay. I'm talking about the dudes that are out at the club like, hey, what's up with her? Like, put me on with your.
Yeah. I hate
Those,
the
like,
dudes.
come
though.
on, bro.
I hate that dude.
But
yo.
should you even
Talk.
categorize that as a wingman?
No, that's not a
I don't think
wingman,
That's
though.
not
So
that's
what's
not
a-
a really
what's
good
a
wingman.
good
That's a
wingman to
spokesman.
you?
A good wingman
Like, what
is somebody who
categorized?
comes up with something crafty like
Exactly.
that. And is
especially
willing
like if
to
she's
be
got
the
like
asshole.
if she's in there with her friends. Like your good wingman is one that'll come over there and
Divide
talk to
and
the friends.
conquer.
Divide, yeah, like
Divide and
bam.
conquer.
set that shit up. That's how you do it.
I think the best advice I would give to any dude that wants to talk to a girl in the club is to go talk to her in front of her friends.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
make-
Depends on the type of club.
Because-
yeah.
Depends on the type of club.
Introduce yourself to her friends first. Because the moment you just direct your contact and your energy to that
Yeah.
one girl, her friends are gonna pull her away.
You gotta be
You gotta
respectful
introduce
to.
yourself to the fat girl first.
Oh
What?
my god.
Man,
So excuse him for shitting on my
Sorry.
my great advice.
But that's
Talk
the
to
truth.
her when she's with her friends, because her friends, if you're respectful and if you carry yourself well, will
Doesn't
gas
matter
it up
which one.
and help you
It
out.
doesn't matter
because
which
that's
one.
what they do.
In
Just
because-
introduce yourself to all of them.
I will
matter. It
say,
doesn't
I
does
will
matter.
say, there are times, there are a group of friends, and I have some of those who literally like any dude that comes and hollers at
Mm-hmm.
me or vice versa, they're quick to be like, nah, and like they
And that's
pull them
cool.
away.
That
from
means
the
you go to
dude
plan
and-
B.
Yeah,
Which
plan
But
B.
plan A is
Which
talk
is-
to her in front of her friends.
But there's also girls that like say there's a girl, right? And I go up to introduce myself to the friends, and I'm my eyes on that girl, but yet her friends are sluts, and they want to holler at me. And like, and then she went to go to the bar or the bathroom. She's over here like,
Yeah, I had that happen to me a lot of times.
hell? Like,
Yeah, I
you
had,
know,
yeah.
all right, all right, all
friend
right.
is
Well,
for
listen,
friend.
listen.
Well,
Not-
that's when
not-
you have to go to wingman.
Time
though.
out. Not everybody's a will make it. All right.
I'm not saying it's with me. But
I don't have the
that's when I
juice
wish
like
I could
that.
call Chris and be like, Chris, come fuck shit up right now.
Yeah, because I definitely would.
Chris comes over here like, what's up, girl? You're like, yo, my
Hey, I'll pull him though.
you know, there's been times, you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, there's people that girls insult my friends. You know what I mean? Like, not that I'm trying to holler at a girl, but like, oh, you know that person? Oh, I thought you were cool. Like, just because I'm cool with someone that you don't like doesn't mean I'm cool. Or because, and I just literally look at that person like shit.
You are the company you keep.
Yeah. No, it is. It is not necessarily true though, because just because someone doesn't like one of my friends because of something they hear isn't the truth. It's something that my friend did.
That's a
Right,
separate
right.
relationship,
And that
yeah.
right there instantly turns me off, and I'm just like, I guess.
He'd be like, yeah,
you
he a
know,
playboy.
What if
Right.
it's something that they
Right, that
did,
makes
not
sense.
something that they heard?
But this case, I'm talking about her.
Okay.
Not did.
Nah.
You know, like
He
act-
did my friend like this.
You know, like it was like, all right, I have to say. So I was at RGC, right? I was at RGC, and there's this stripper was like, "Oh, you're friends with Chris?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, and they were like, "Oh, I thought you were cool," and I was like, "Whatever,
What?
go over there." And I went over there, and I'm like,
Really?
"That's my boy." Chris is like,
You're a stripper, so
you know
Who
what
said
I
that?
mean?
Which one? Oh, I know
No,
who
he
it
wants
was.
to know.
I know
Now
it is
she's
now.
fired.
I hate when people
Man,
talk
that's
shit about my
too-
friends. I don't like when people talk shit about my
I
friends.
would have been like, I
makes
thought
sense.
you could strip, but I guess not. How much did you get off the table?
Yeah.
Oh, none.
You mad? Daddy issues?
Oh, you should tell me a name so I can
Oh
clown
my
you.
god.
That's terrible.
Ooh, yo, y'all are making it really easy for me today. All right, so I'm just saying the segues are great. Speaking of daddy issues, right?
Oh.
I seen a dude that I was talking to. I think where were we at? We were at the BX, and he was talking about how he only likes to mess with women who have daddy issues
Oh yeah.
because they're crazy and they're vulnerable and they need like affection from that masculine figure that wasn't in their life.
And they need a lot of attention.
I was like, yo, you're a dog, one,
That is-
but. I
That
know
is
I know a lot of
crazy.
dudes because after that conversation, I went and asked a few people, and they were like, "Yeah, you know, when I think back, all of the girls that I messed with, the best sex that I ever had was women who had daddy issues."
yeah, facts.
Look, and so,
Somebody
like, of course, Chris would second that, but
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
why,
saying.
why is that? Like, what do they display?
They super
Like,
crazy
what-
though.
But how do
I
you
think
know
I think
that-
I
that
think
they're
it's
not
I think it's the
bad?
lack. It's either
Lack
what
of
like the
restriction.
lack the love or respect that they didn't get from their father. Like
Yeah.
for that
They're
female,
easier.
you know, it's
Not
it's
necessarily
easier. It's
easier.
easier.
No. That's what I've been
Oh.
told. They're easier
What kind of
because
daddy issues you mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
strict father or not a father at all?
not a father,
I think that's what it
non-existent.
is.
Both of them
It's-
do the
it's
same thing,
missing,
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if
They're missing that
for
aspect.
example, if the girl's father was a strict father, and wouldn't let her do nothing. The moment she got freedom, she's gonna do the same thing those slutty girls.
Yeah, it's
that
like
have
that
daddy
college
issues. Yeah,
thing.
you know what I mean. So it is kind of weird. Because I know people that
Daddy
have
issues
strict,
on both sides.
strict fathers, and that's still a daddy issue. Having a strict father that won't let you do nothing. And the moment you got freedom, like get out the house and you're an adult, you go have sex with everyone and be a slut. Or
Yeah.
you have a dad that wasn't in your life and you don't know how to have respect for yourself. So it's kind of
So you still go out and be a slut.
yeah.
I think those are still not justifiable reasons why you.
I didn't say it was.
I mean, yeah,
I
it's
just
not
want to
just.
throw that out there.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
the
it
truth
is-
is-
saying that that's
I mean,
okay.
I
those
never
are the
knew
easier
that.
girls to get with sometimes. So
That's
Yeah,
true.
because they
Looking at
didn't
it.
get that love from their fathers, so they're
Call me
looking for
daddy.
Looking for it.
like other places.
Yeah, call me daddy.
Because they're fucking
they call you
the dude,
daddy.
So it's like,
They call me
Right.
all the time.
If they call
Yeah,
you
I
daddy,
don't
they have
understand
daddy.
Daddy, papi.
It's like the Oedipus complex. You got to read about it. It's some
I've heard
I
that
will
before. You've heard
definitely
about
do
it?
it because that is very interesting.
Yeah.
I would
Would you rather be called daddy or zaddy?
Oh, it's not sugar
Neither.
daddy.
Call me my name.
What about Bobby?
Call me daddy.
Call me my name. Daddy, you can say that to anybody.
What about
Call
you?
me my
No,
name.
I-
What about you?
You know what I'm saying?
I like Poppy.
I like Poppy.
Yeah.
My daddy.
Just
But
call me
your
my
girl's
name.
Asian though. Like,
It
so
don't
does she
matter.
say Bobby?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
fire. That's
That's what makes it even better, man.
Yeah, that's fire.
And she says it all, ooh, papi. Like, that's what's wrong.
See, I was like,
I don't want her to say it in Japanese. Otosan. Like, that sounds so whack. Otosan. Fuck that shit. That sounds whack as hell. You know what I mean?
Funny.
I be feeling real old if she said that shit.
What's up, Antoine?
I actually like Oto-san.
You dig it?
Yeah, that's kind of
Nah,
hard.
I can't.
Well,
kinda
you'd be
hard.
the different one. You would.
That's
I love
kind of
it.
hard.
Before I go down on her, I say itadakimasu.
Yeah, thank you for the
Itadakimasu.
itadakimasu. Thank you for the meal.
Yeah, thank you for the meal.
Yeah, thank you for the
That's
meal.
fire too.
It's like you say it before you eat,
Yeah.
and then afterwards,
That
what
would
is
be
it?
low.
Still trying to get her to say
Gochiso
itadakimasu when she goes
samadeshita.
down on me.
I
Yeah.
think
You
afterwards.
be like, dozo.
Yeah, dozo. Unakasita. I'm hungry.
And then after you're done, like I eat bite. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, I know a little bit of Japanese. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use that.
I never said any of that.
All right, so speaking of sex, let's
Yes.
get
Let's
into
go.
sexual education.
Sexual education time.
So I guess we
Good
can
class,
start this
good
off by
class.
going around the table one at a time, starting from here and working our way around.
Hold on.
Do you remember sex ed like that? And if so, when? Like, did you take it? How old were you, and what grade were you in?
Mrs. Smith.
Oh wow!
Ooh, shit.
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade.
Yep. Yeah.
Fifth grade.
I
So
remember that.
how was
How
it?
old were you in sixth grade? I think 12. Yeah, 11, 12. One of those.
12. Yeah. She was full
Yeah, 12, yeah,
figured.
12.
She was full figured.
That's why
Yep.
he remembers her.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
what did they teach you in sex ed? What do you remember?
They
Was it
watch
just the
They,
basics?
Video?
they went over safety and then they played the video.
Yeah. Really.
Oh.
Video,
What
right?
video?
Yeah.
Video. The
Video.
STI. What was it?
STD, yeah.
STD.
Y'all old.
That
Y'all
one.
different generation. You know what I mean?
I'll be
It
like
was,
a
it
whole-
was like,
Nah.
if you do, be safe, but
If you're not
if
safe.
you're not safe,
Oh, so it was more
here's
of
a
a
video.
scare
What
tactic.
will
Yeah,
look
it was
like,
more
what,
scare
what
tactic.
everything's
That's
gonna look
different.
like. So you saw like
Yeah, you
what
saw-
she's gonna look like if she
Yeah.
messes around too much. What he's gonna look like, and you're like,
I was scared.
all right, maybe I won't. Yeah, maybe I'll wait for a little bit. I'll
He
hold
said,
on.
all you gotta do is wrap it
That's
up.
so interesting. I wasn't even expecting this to go that route. So how was it for
Pictures
you?
were disturbing.
Yeah, them was.
Mine, I would say, I remember because I took like 2 different sex ed classes for some reason. But
What was the first one?
The first one was like that, and I was in 6th grade. But then the second one was more about like the reproductive system and like the male
That's so
parts
different.
and breaking it down, and the same thing with the female parts and breaking that down and how that works and how conception works and blah blah blah. It wasn't like how to have sex, like none of that. It was literally like, if you have sex, you're gonna get these STDs, or let's talk about the female part and the male part and the parts of it and what they're all called and labeling them and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. I was in 7th grade. I wasn't in 6th. It was a little bit later. And for that, it was more of male reproductive system, female reproductive system, like childbirth and conception. Like we watched the video at natural birth and we watched the C-section.
Yeah.
And then they
That-
talked
that-
about
that video
yeah.
sucked. Yeah,
then
that
they
was 8th
talked
grade
about
for me.
all the STDs
Watch
and
that
stuff like
video.
that. So it was more about how to have safe sex, and they talked about lube and stuff like that. But it
Bottle of lube.
it stopped there because they were talking about how to safely use a condom and like lubricating the condom and stuff like that. But that's about it. It was really basic. This is how males look. This is how females look.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah
that's
blah. You
something.
stick this here. You know, it was. That's it.
I
It
wish
was
I
real.
would have talked more. About
Yeah.
different stuff.
That's what one of the next topics is. But how was it? How was it for you when you were in school?
I think
Or
that-
did they teach it in school?
They did. Well, I know they did it before. My memory is really bad. But I do remember freshman year, sex ed. They have the put a condom on a banana bullshit, and then they went over the female
We didn't even
reproductive
do that.
systems, the guys, and then they showed the birth of someone giving birth. I think that's all I remember.
We did the
though.
cucumber.
I didn't do the like you
We did
take
the
the baby
cucumber.
home and shit either.
No.
That's
Oh,
child
that's-
development.
Yeah.
That's child development. That's
Yeah.
I took that class.
Family
Yeah.
and
For-
computer
I had to take
science.
class.
Was it child development or was it sex ed?
No, this was part of the whole sex ed course.
Ours-
Oh,
we did-
see,
we
that's
did that.
different.
We
So
did
we
that in
from
family
like
consumer
5th grade
science.
all the way up until
They
like
really trying to
freshman.
scare them.
Yeah,
like
that's a
oh, now
scare
you gonna take
tactic.
them.
From like 5th grade all the way up to 9th grade, like we took like sex ed type courses. Like I know the 5th grade course is like this is what STDs are, this, and then we worked our way up. And then by the time 9th grade came around, we had to take the kid home for like
That's
a month.
crazy.
I remember I had the female that she didn't want to fucking take care of the kid. She was like, yo, no,
So
you
y'all
should
had
take.
y'all had to co-parent.
Yeah, I had to co-parent with this fucking bitch. Like, oh, and she did. Yo,
You sound like every baby daddy.
no, but
Co-parent with
like,
this bitch.
so like, I was doing the majority of the work. I'm like, yo, I had to watch the baby. I put the baby in my Foot Locker in the locker.
You put a baby in a fucking locker?
I had to, yo, for football practice. I didn't have something else to do.
You didn't have a babysitter?
That shouldn't surprise me.
Oh my god.
Yo.
I would have made a fake playpen or some
Yo.
shit.
Where I'm supposed to put the baby at? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You had what, like the Cabbage Patch
Bro.
babies?
yeah, the little baby that.
Where's your
start
kid
crying.
right now?
Huh?
Where's your son right now?
At home.
All right. Not in a locker?
No, he had no locker, man.
Damn.
I'm a really good parent, by the way.
All right, so
I am.
listen, let's throw out a disclaimer. We do not condone
Yes.
children being stored in lockers.
Yes, that was just for sex educational class.
my God.
Yeah, 9th grade.
Okay.
Anyways, DJ
What you
M.
need.
So what I want to ask DJ M is, do they teach sex education here in Okinawa schools?
I don't even remember none of that. Like zero memory for that.
Did they offer it?
Listen, no sex for y'all.
I
that's
think
why
they
we
do,
What
but I
is
just
this?
like my memory is so bad that I don't
That's why
recall
everything be so
anything.
tight.
Not in high school or nothing. Nothing.
Like, not a PE, but whatever education we have to learn. Like, but it was more of, if you, because we sell those porn and magazine like at a convenience store, so they like what kind of bad like the education you learn from the magazine or whatnot, like
What's true or not?
kind of stuff that we learn, but I don't remember learning how to use or anything.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is wild.
I think that's, and I'm not trying to be racist, but I think that's why the Japanese culture has a problem with having sex right now. You know what I'm talking about? There's a big decrease of children being born and the men not having sex with the females, not only because of their work. Females are now in Japan
Not in
having
Okinawa.
right? Love motels are sold
Birth
out.
rate
Yeah.
is
But,
high.
I think maybe if they taught sex ed, people will be more interested in having sex.
Yeah, we got nothing to do about sex, I guess.
Because I think, you guys thought it was taboo, like it was bad?
Yeah.
Did you guys think that in high school? Like having sex was,
No.
you guys thought about it?
Yeah, they
No, it's like so.
I'm asking someone Japanese.
No, so what happened is like they have those book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the book. Then they it was an open book test. So what it was, they had an order test, answers and whatnot. But I lost the book, so I was like, I didn't learn
So
nothing.
you had to make up.
Exactly.
your
And I
answers?
say, they're like, can I see somebody's book? He's like, no. I was like, okay, now I'm going to have to make it up all the answers. So I came up with a crazy answers and I got 100. Not learning
So it's
anything.
not a
but it's
strict
not like
curriculum.
a taboo.
Probably.
But they're like, do not trust those magazine or porno, whatever thing. It's not like what it is. So we
But it
did
is.
learn that because it's our culture.
That like
Nah.
doing that
It
shit.
is like porno. What are you talking
12,
about?
13-year-olds
No,
doing
it's
that
I'm
shit.
just fucking with you.
Okay, so
So
since
that's
we
actually
all
really instructive.
Yeah.
Americans need to hear that too.
Nah.
I know half of my 9th grade class dropped out.
I think
though.
if I grew up in Japan, if I was Japanese, I wouldn't be as freaky as I am now. I don't really think that.
I mean, the Latino in you probably brings that out anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If I was Japanese, I would.
Oh yeah, I'm
So-
one Hispanic girl. So I'll shout out to
with
my
that
sister.
being said, is there some things you wish were in sex ed that they didn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you wish you learned a little bit more? And if so, what are they? Because for me, I wish they taught about different types of sexuality, like pansexual, lesbian, just the
Oh,
different
yeah.
types
At the
of
time,
sexual
none of
orientations.
that was acceptable, so they probably wouldn't even have
Yeah.
implemented that.
Even-
in the
even if it's
curriculum.
not
Remember,
acceptable.
remember the
That's
time
what I'm
frame we
saying, even
grew
if
up,
it isn't
right?
acceptable.
When we grew
Yeah.
up in high school, we couldn't even say shit, bitch on radio or TV. Remember everything was censored.
Yeah.
So like everything was extra censored. I remember the porno was like the channels are blurry.
It was like
You know what I mean?
girls going wild.
Yeah.
But even
that was
but
crazy. They were
censorship
millionaires.
didn't even come around until like 1993 though,
Now it's like everything is just out there and you can see anything or everywhere.
and that was mostly because of hip hop music.
I wish they did like how tos.
Yep, BET.
Yes.
after
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
Because I feel like a lot of women would be more confident giving head if they had a how to, like a
But-
real
Yeah,
basic
I
how
heard
to.
girls just watch the porno,
Or
It's
dudes
learn
would
how to do
eat pussy more if there was a how to eat
just talking
vagina.
about-
You know what I'm saying?
What's
Well,
the
eating
spot?
pussy was like it was a taboo
Which
thing
one
too.
is a
That's
spot
true.
to get
Too.
to?
Or even
Was
like
it?
teaching
Yeah,
about.
it was. Yeah, that didn't come around until like 2000s.
Man, they should have taught people how to stroke. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shit.
Females, I'm sure they can attest to that. Dudes just get in and just want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
You gotta be
take
like,
your
you gotta have a
time.
You gotta
technique.
put the RP. You gotta put the RP.
You gotta have a
music
rhythm.
on.
It's kind of like a
Oh,
BPM.
counter stroke.
You know, like a bee has. You can't just go boom, 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 boom. You have to fuck her.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta be in that.
You know?
You change up the rhythm. I
Yeah,
see
you
what
should
you're
change up the rhythm. Have a
That'd be funny
technique.
as fuck if you were hooking to that beat like that.
I've done
That'd
it.
be, oh my
I've done
God.
it. That's the reason I'm saying it.
I'd be like,
got a
It works
question.
better with reggaeton beats. It
yeah.
does. Reggaeton beats is more.
Oh damn, you like
That's
Yeah,
when you
I
speed
see
up.
that.
That.
DJ M says.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
What you
So-
got for us?
During the sex, do you guys talk?
Like
Yeah.
conversation.
Not like the whole conversation like
Like
this.
how was work? Yeah. Do you want to cook tonight? No.
It's not like that, but
I'll let you and buy me some
like
shoes.
Any kind of talk.
Yeah, dirty talk.
Dirty talk.
Dirty,
Yeah.
no, other than dirty talk.
No.
Nah, I'm like,
Or are
yo,
you talking about like, hey, do it like this or do it like that? Like, are you saying communicating on?
That too, but just like so, I don't know.
I think that's not the time for it.
I'm like, you gonna buy me some new
Having,
Jordans?
having sex is a more of a
Yeah.
sexual thing. You should be talking something sexual. It wouldn't be having.
Yeah,
I'm
if
trying to get
it's
some new
Because-
clothes.
Yeah.
Really?
You
What
want to go
happened
to
was
you want to go to
like-
Raycom after this?
Hold on.
the last
talk.
time
Like, go
when
buy
I
me
was
some
having
Jordans?
sex, and he
Saw that on
goes,
Amazon today. You want to watch it later? Like,
no, because the last time when I was having sex, he said, "I love Japan." I'm like, "What?" So I stopped it. I'm like,
Alright, he said that because he was
this.
fucking a Japanese chick.
Yeah,
That's why he said that.
Dying laughing. I said, "I love
that's not a
America
conver-
too." I
That's not a
said,
conversation. That's a statement.
that's dirty talk.
Yeah, that's
basically.
dirty talk.
That is kind of
That's dirty
But he stopped talking about. I'm like, why
Imagine
would
that
you
shit.
say that? But we still having the same.
What's up?
I want to know what's going through her head when she heard that. He looked
Oh, got dry.
yeah.
I feel like in the bed, if it's not dirty talk or like some constructive
throws
criticism,
you
there
off.
should be zero talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What if you asking for some like shoes?
Do you
or something?
get? Here's a question. Do you guys easily get thrown off, like with sex?
What do you
get
mean?
turned off? Like easily get turned off with something stupid or?
Yeah, because my attention span is like this.
Or
What
when
about
the TV's
music?
with the TV too loud?
Yeah, like if
I'm-
there's
I'm
okay,
either
hold
or
on.
with music.
If I know the song, I get distracted.
You'd be like, wait.
I start singing. Yeah, I start singing. It's sort of
that's-
bad.
Oh, hold on. How you start singing though? How
So
you
I
start
can't-
singing?
I feel like
okay.
it wasn't that good if you.
You gotta start singing, right?
No, it's not that. It's like,
Oh,
for
shit.
real, my attention span is just whack. But I have to play music that I don't know for me to be like,
Nirvana.
Like a classic music.
like
That's
something, or just no music at all. But if it's a playlist that I already know, man.
We'll be
But hold on,
like,
hold on.
Say, I gotta go with
should
the
hit that
playlist
note
I
one
know.
time.
No, it doesn't mean it's not good. It
Right.
just means my attention span is.
just
I mean,
watched
I
a
like to,
video
I
that
like
was
to have,
that.
I like to have showered before having sex, but sometimes spontaneous sex you haven't showered. But if it was a
I
long
like
day in the
spontaneous
sun,
sex.
if it was like sweating all day and then I didn't get a chance to shower, and then like you get worked up, you're on the bed making out and everything, and then you're like, hold on, let's go take a shower. Then when I'm done with the shower, it's like that feeling just goes away. You know what I mean?
Really?
It does.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm ready again.
Yeah,
Let's
nah.
go.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel
I
you.
like
That's
shower
why
after
I'm
sex.
on
I
with
gotta
you on that
attack
one.
it the moment.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Fuck it, I smell like sweat. Fuck it up.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Yeah, if you're comfortable
Do it in
with a
the
person,
sauna.
that's pretty cool.
Fuck
Because
it.
then y'all can just like.
No, I'm not
People like
comfortable with
the thing though, like not the sweat, but just no shower. Just some people like it like that.
Fuck
they
no.
ask like let's fuck like without a shower. I'm like, can we take a shower first? Like no,
Nah,
because
let's
I'm
take a-
outside. It's sweating all
I'm
that.
that
I think
dude.
it
I'm like, yo,
depends.
we about to sweat and shit. Let's take a shower afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a
Exactly.
damn.
I like a shower after.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
get
I
it
don't
poppin'.
Well,
know.
what's my
if
pussy
I've been
smell,
clubbing
though?
hella hard.
I don't care. I'm a dog, bro. I don't care.
Loza eats
Like, would
everything.
you eat a
remember?
girl out after she did a PFT?
Yes.
Hell no.
100%.
50.
Like
A
Hell.
PFT,
a
or
fitness
like,
test.
Oh,
test.
fitness test. Oh, my
Yes.
bad,
Like a
right.
3-mile run.
Fuck no. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Fucking yes.
Yes.
Eating her out, no.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm
Fucking-
eating
fucking-
everything.
Yeah,
Nah, I ain't eating that.
Yeah.
The hell? You
After
damn
the
right.
clubs, everything.
Loza is a chump for that.
That's why
Like,
I said
Loza
I'm,
would
I'm,
eat
I'm
anything.
a rare case. I'm a dog. I don't.
You're a
give
rare
fuck.
case. You definitely a rare
I do.
case.
I
Good
do not
one.
care. Like,
Good one.
No, I agree with you too, though.
I mean, after
Fist me.
It's just it's just a run. You know what I'm saying? It's a little sweat.
I got you.
A little sweat. No, that shit ain't a little sweat. No.
I don't know. I like it.
That's
I
a
see what you
PFT
mean.
though. No,
Nah.
I like it.
Just-
It's fine.
But my
What's the
homeboy
next
did that
question you
shit
have for me?
like he was
What's the
fingering
what?
a girl
The next
after she
question.
had like.
Oh,
Yeah, the next
it was
question.
still on the
And I was
main.
like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah.
Look at Chris. So my next question was,
Chris doesn't even know how to wear a wave
if there
cap.
was a sex education class offered today, would you take it?
Nah. Wait.
No, I'll teach the class.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Zero. My soul's not
I'm
going
gonna
to
go
that
back on my
class.
question
Zero
because
student.
Different.
yes, I agree. But if the class was taught by King Takashi, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Why?
But
You
if
don't
they
take
did,
it serious, bro.
Yeah, I am
exactly.
taking it serious. I would have taken
You're
it
the
serious.
type of person to do the seminar and start off with all pictures of STDs and gonorrhea and say, who wants to have sex? That's
No,
that's
it's
your
not.
class.
How you know my teaching style?
Because this is the way you're
That's-
talking right now.
No,
bro.
that's a different.
This is a
no,
radio show
I
where we're
know,
lecturing
this is a
people on sex,
personality.
drugs, and
Hold on, put 'em on
relationships.
the
Drugs
spot.
and relationships.
Put 'em
This
on
is
the
a
spot.
personality.
Time out.
It's different from
How would
teaching.
you
yeah.
segue into the class? Like, just give your intro to.
No,
the class.
I'll give my intro like the stats first, and then we'll slowly start diving into the actual meat, and then after
Stats
that.
about what?
That's what I'm saying.
Stats about what?
Stats about like
Nobody wants to hear stats, bro.
Yeah.
We're talking about sex education.
yeah, this
5 out of 10 people have herpes. Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody
shit.
wants to hear that. You should
Not
you
this
can
day
throw
and
that
age,
in
nope.
the end. I think it's important to talk about.
You ask questions. You start off with how many of you guys are thinking about having sex, you know, or
have had
or
sex.
have
No, okay, all right. Let me
Okay,
change.
listen.
I'm just saying to have a follow-up course. You know what I'm saying? We've all had sex before. Let's learn a little bit more. I
would've
would
taken it.
gladly go to a sex
Me
education
too.
class
It
because
depends
things
what they
change.
talk about.
You know what I'm saying?
you talking about like different. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Do you
If
do you
you
know
connect-
all the? Hold
I
on.
think they should have it in more like a panel style though.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
just one person.
If
That
they
way
have
you get
how-tos?
different- You get
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
I
how
will
to you?
definitely go.
Yeah.
How tos, the anatomy. Do you know all the
You
women
have-
No,
anatomy?
I don't.
Orgasm?
Yeah, you have a female giving a
Like-
speech who likes females, a female that likes guys, a guy that likes guys. That way you attack
Cover all
everybody.
aspects,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
That's
I would
that's a
attend
good
the
one.
sex
As long as there's
You should
how-tos.
have a
Or
panel.
guys or girls that like to play
And
with
why don't
themselves.
we do
you know?
the charity thing that we were talking about, volunteer?
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Excuse me?
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Sex education.
Sex education as a community service.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. No thanks.
You go to
like-
kids booth or some shit.
No.
$1 I give you a kiss. You gonna be broke, bro.
Kiss and booth, right? What? I wish
All
you
right.
do kiss and booth though.
No, we're not doing a kissing.
See, I told you.
That's a good idea.
Nice.
This-
Who said that? Who planted that seed?
Sorry, that was my.
All right.
Oh, somebody just said. I know I just heard it somewhere.
So
Out of this ear.
I've had lots of talks this week, and this is a topic that I'm not going to speak on. I'm going to leave it to the cast. All right. So, how do you determine when to work on a relationship versus when to leave? That's a very hard question.
I think
And I don't have any
Start it
answers.
off.
Repeat.
How do you determine when you work on a relationship versus when you walk away?
I think you should walk away when both of y'all have nothing to say each other. Because when you guys argue, it means someone still cares, right? Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't give it the time.
Right.
I think when it comes to a point where the person just kind of ignores you and the way you feel, you walk away. But if the person's still fighting for your attention, you work on it.
I want to jump on what he said. I think yes, even if I'm not just talking about arguing, even just over time, like
Yeah, just working on how do you
working
determine?
on your relationship. If both of you are like putting in the same amount of effort, continuing to understand each other and understand each other's differences and work through that, then yeah, like I don't care how many problems we go through as long as we are actively trying to fix them as we go. But when it turns into literally just one person on the other trying to fix it, but the other person's like either not seeing it or not willing to fix anything or not even trying to tell the other person like, hey, this bothers me. Like when it's not
Communicating.
communicating
It's not
both
two people
ways,
in the ring.
then at that point it's like
Someone's
it's like
swinging,
talking
the other
to a
guy's
wall.
had his hands getting
It's
Yeah,
like talking
yeah.
to
That's
a
what I was about to
wall.
say. When you don't have no more
So-
energy.
Right.
So at that
I
point,
hear that advice, but I also know there's couples out here that they're both fighting and they're both fighting for different things. So with that comes a bunch of chaos and nothing really gets accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Because two people can be fighting,
and it's toxic.
but if you're fighting different things,
okay, but if it's like
At
really
least-
toxic,
Like in
then
public
yes.
arguing?
no, just working it out between the two of you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the confines of your own home. But if you have 3 problems
Right.
you want to discuss and that person has 3 separate problems,
You work
know
it
what I'm
out.
saying?
Yeah, you work it out.
But it don't matter which ones you
easier
have
said
and
than
which
done.
How
ones
many
You'll work
times
that
does that
out.
person repeat the same thing and you have to say it again? Means that they don't understand, right? So if you have someone who does something that you didn't like and you be like, babe, listen, I didn't like this, but they kept doing it and you say it again and they kept doing it, they're not really understanding. The same way is as if like talking about personal problems in public. Like that's not a place to do it because other people are entertained by that and that can cause rumors and then it just causes more problems. But I think if you guys work on it and then as long as you guys are working on something, there's always going to be room for improvement. But once you guys stop working on something, that's when everything else gets filled in, as in attention from someone else that oh, my husband doesn't give me attention.
Right.
So, oh, this guy's
So-
giving me attention. He called me beautiful. My husband hasn't done that. Or my girl, you know? So
There's-
that's what it is at.
with that, there's this thing called like a love language, and a lot of the times like people want to receive love in one way, and like the other person wants to receive love in a different way. And I'm not just saying about affection or whatever. I'm talking about like when it comes to even resolving problems, whether you have 3 different problems and the other person has 3 different problems. Like it's really important for you to understand that other person's or to attempt to learn the other person's love language so that you can communicate and same in reverse. Because if you say, for example, me, I like affection and attention, and to me that's like very fulfilling. Some other people are like they want what's it called,
Mine is
gratification,
physical touch,
Yeah,
quality
yeah.
time,
yeah,
acts of service, like I think it was words of affirmation,
and
gift giving.
Right.
Those are the 5.
So.
Is the love language?
Yeah, the 5
So
love
if
languages.
I'm
We talked
like
about
that, if
before.
I want that, but my significant other doesn't like that, and I'm over here trying to like push that onto them, and they're like, nah, then at that point, I'm not trying to understand their love language, and I think that should be applied to even just arguments that don't even have to do anything with that. Just trying to understand where they're coming from and them understanding where you're coming from, even if the arguments are about. Like,
yeah, that's super heavy. I hate to vaguely talk about that, but shout out to John Chapman. If y'all want to know, he wrote the book called The 5 Love Languages. You should definitely read it, and there's a quiz online.
It definitely
and shout out to Jay. She's watching us right
It
now.
definitely gets more complicated with interracial marriages too. Like for example, different cultures and stuff. Like for example, you guys dating within the same race, Americans, but if you're dating American and Japanese, this is so much different and it's so harder because of cultural differences. For example, like I'm Hispanic, so I like attention and affection, no matter where.
Yeah.
But Japanese people, some of them don't like affection as much because they don't show it. Kind of like when my first my kids a mother went into the house. They haven't seen each other from years, and they didn't hug each other. They just welcome. And I was just like, yeah, this is my mom. My mom would be hugging me and stuff like that. And then when my mom came to visit me here, my mom jumped me from the airport like, oh, I missed you, honey. And then my kid's mom was just like, ew, like she found it disgusting. And I was just like, what's your problem? But it's a difference of culture. So if there was no understanding, and I chose not to understand because I'm Hispanic, and she chose not to understand because she was Japanese. So that's where it was a big difference. And I learned from that experience. You know what I mean? So that's just, it's so much harder. And that's
that
where
applies
I think,
to like everything.
Yeah,
right?
it really does. Cultural difference is really big. It really is.
It is.
But when do you choose to walk out? When it's not mutual anymore. When y'all aren't mutually trying to work it out.
So you say you choose to stay if you're both working on it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
if not, you walk away.
Yes, absolutely. If you're trying to understand me and I'm trying to understand you and we're progressively getting somewhere,
That's called
Yeah,
trying though,
But he doesn't compromise.
That's a gray area. Trying,
everyone does. They
your
just don't
version
do
of
it
trying
intentionally or
won't be his
Yeah.
definition of
Right.
trying. You know
That's
what
all
I'm saying?
compromise.
right.
You may be
People
saying
compromise,
you're
they just-
trying, but are you actually following that with
I
action?
know
You know what I'm
exactly
saying? That's
what
what I'm
you're
saying.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
both people could be working on it, but if they're not working on it with the same effort,
Yeah,
then
whose
is it
definition
really,
of compromise?
Well,
is
if it's
compromise?
not, if I'm sitting here saying, hey, I need this and this and that, which might not be big things, like if I'm saying, hey, I need your quality time with you or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm going to try, and they never try,
But
then it's going in one ear and out the
all
other.
I'm
Then at
saying
that
is
point, I'd
it's
be
a gray
like,
area. You said quality time. Your version of quality time.
that was
I know,
like
but I'm using
example.
that because
Right,
you said it. Your version of quality time may be different than mine.
So what if I sit here and specify how
You
I
have
want
to.
it? Right.
I think you have to.
So
specify.
if I do, and I don't leave any vagueness,
Mhm.
and this person is like, okay, and they're trying, and it gets better and better, then I'll be like, all right, cool. If they're like, okay, I got you, babe, I'm gonna like work on it, and they never do anything about it, then I'll be like, man, fuck this shit. Like, you're not respecting
Yeah.
me. Because if they're asking things of me and they're not hard things, and I'm doing them to make you happy.
Then you say if they're not hard things.
Right. Like
You
if a
know what
girl's
I'm saying?
like,
It could-
Bruh, giving
You gonna break up
somebody
with me 'cause I wouldn't
time
let you
is
let me
something you
shave?
gotta be willing
Like-
to do. If you don't make time for that person, it's because you don't want to.
you make time for what's important to you.
Exactly.
No matter what. I think it is
Exactly.
true. There's no way because it's like anything that's in your life that right now, this is important to us. That's why we made time for it. If this was not important, we wouldn't be here. We would be doing something else. You know what I mean? So like even with relationships, you wouldn't be in a relationship with that person if you didn't plan to make time for that person. Because if you didn't meet that person, she wouldn't be in your life and you wouldn't be spending time with that person.
Right.
That was her.
Exactly.
Like right now, if you find a new job, that's important to you. You'll make time for it because it's important to you. Right. Right. If it wasn't, you quit. Kind of like I did.
Oh yeah, Jay said she would, what's it called? I don't even know how to say it. She would leave when the person's being toxic, even if they're trying to work on it. If they're toxic, she would leave. Toxic.
Like not listening to her.
It's a gray area.
Toxicness is
Toxic
like
is a gray area.
Everybody has a different definition
Definition
of
of
toxic.
toxic.
Yeah, it depends on your definition.
I'll leave when the person is not ready to include me for their routine. Everybody has our routine, right? But some people has like literally morning to night, like going to work, going to gym, blah, 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 blah. Some people just literally follow the routine. I was like, where am I coming at? Like, when do you, if you're not going to even make a time, that's fine, but let me include it in your routine so that we can do together, like, going to gym together or whatnot. Some people are really hard to make adjustment. Then I'm like, I don't see the future because I know you're not going to change your lifestyle and you're not going to include me. So there's no way to work it out.
Like you're not important enough to make time for
So
you.
like, either squeeze me in or include me, one or the other. If you cannot do it, you
I'm
gotta
the
go.
same.
That goes back
I'm
to
the
what Will
same.
was saying. I mean, that person will include you if it's important to them. So
Yep. I mean, the kinds
Exactly.
of things I've done to make time for somebody is like insane. Like they have to mean a lot to me. So when they can't do the same in return, I'm like, I don't mean that much to you.
Especially if you have a busy schedule and if you have
Exactly.
an ambition and you have a goal and a plan. A lot of these
Yes.
guys here, they're in the military or not, whatever. So they're not seeing past when they get out. They think they're either be in the military for their whole career, and it's, in the case some of the times it's not the truth because you never know you can get injured or whatever. So they don't have that plan B or the backup plan. Like Losa, he's in the military and he does the radio and he has his podcast, so he has a vision. So if someone cannot match that ambition or actually understand the ambition from him or match it and try to include himself by making yourself valuable to help him out and help each other succeed, then of course no one's gonna make time for that. You know what I mean?
I think that's
I
another.
agree.
That's
strong.
right?
That's
Yes.
another good time when you can look at a person to see like, hey, it might be time to leave. Like if you're not doing anything to
add
not
value
only add value to yourself, but add value to the person that you're with, then it's no.
Because
it's
what
no
happens
use
when
in being together.
what happens if one form of income stops, like the military, and then yet now you got to make time to go walk in the park. You know what I mean? But yet you have a podcast that you're trying to get off the ground. So instead of walking in the park, hey babe, let's work on this network marketing and this marketing together. You know, like let's go and talk to other people and see, hey babe, what did you learn today? Oh, I met this guy. He has a radio show here. He can help us out with this podcast. He has connections in the States. Instead of, babe, let's hold my hand. Let's go look at the sunset. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
have time for that.
We can have
But you know what I mean?
Oh, my phone died.
You
Damn.
did?
Yeah, in the middle of the live video.
I will agree with that.
Is there a charger here?
I have
Yeah,
nothing
it is.
further to say. Be valuable.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the small topics real quick. We only got 5 minutes left.
Damn.
All right. Do you feel that your significant other, your partner, be it your fiance, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, should be your best friend?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
You get the
An astounding,
best.
resounding yes from everybody except for
This guy.
because I say no.
I say no.
Ooh, I actually want to hear why they say
I say
that.
no.
Yeah, I want to hear
I
this.
say
Go
no.
first.
Y'all go ahead.
You can go first. I'll go last.
To be honest, I mean, your best friend.
Don't mess it up though.
I think honestly there should be a difference between who I have as my spouse and who I have as my best friend. Because what if my best friend is a male? Like I have at least
Preach.
one person I know I go to, like hands down, no matter what. That's my ace. He will hold shit down, even if me and her don't work out. Like he will hold shit down for me.
Thank you.
I think you should. I think you can have two best friends of the opposite sex.
Yes.
You can.
I-
but
I
the
agree.
question was,
If you're in a
does
relationship,
your significant other have to be your best
I
friend?
think
I
it
don't
does.
think that they have to.
Not
Exactly.
have
I don't
to,
think
but
that they
I
have
would
to.
love them to be.
I think that if I'm in a
Now
relationship,
you
I have a male best
emphasized
friend,
it like
and then
that.
my
I can't
female
find it.
best friend is
Yeah.
gonna be the one that I can also have sex with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still disagree.
So, I'm
not,
actually.
me with best friend. I'm not looking at the aspect of someone I can have.
No,
sex
no,
with.
I'm just saying that. But I'm saying if I'm gonna be in committed relationship with a certain person, I want that person to be my best friend. That I can joke around, not only like a sexual way, but also be like just playing like, babe, what do you think about this idea in the future? Just like I go to my male best friend, hey, is this a good business idea? He'll be like, oh, I don't think, because the best friend tells you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear.
Yeah.
And I expect my girlfriend or my wife to tell me
false.
the same thing.
That's false.
Why?
Because my best friends don't tell me what I
Exactly.
what I
My
want
best
to
friend.
hear.
That's
should
not a
tell
best
me-
friend though.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay,
I
okay.
twisted those words.
Oh,
all
my
right.
bad.
So
Yeah.
your
I
best
was
friend,
like-
your best friend should tell you what you need to hear. Like a lot of these fake friends that tell you like, oh, don't worry about it. Like don't worry about that. But a real friend will tell you exactly not what everyone's saying. You're good. You're really good. Your music's good. I want my best friend to be like, nah, you can do better. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Same with my significant other. I want them
Yeah.
to be telling me I can do better. Not
Yep.
The fuck is
in
this?
love with the way I look or what I'm going for, and just tell me what I want
I'm
to hear.
understanding from it was like should be like your only best friend.
Yeah, and that's
No,
what
that's-
people get confused in.
no, that's-
I
that's-
say this because,
I had several friends.
say for example,
Some of my best
podcasting,
friends.
right? That's one of my passions. Jay does not give a fuck about podcasts. Why would I talk to my best friend, who would ultimately be Jay in this question about podcasting when that's not her interest? I'm just saying,
Yeah, but-
just to use that as an example.
Yeah,
I
but-
have my.
I think there's
my
a best
peop-
friend for
you know what I'm
certain
saying?
aspects of your
Yeah.
life.
I'm not gonna make you sit and be a part of something you don't want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Through experience, I think if your best friend is not your significant other, it won't work out.
That's not true.
I think so.
I think so.
My grandparents
My-
have been married for
my spouse
62
is one
years,
of my best
and they're
friends.
not each other's best friends.
I
They
bet
have
they
best
are, but they
friends.
don't say it.
No, they've told me that they're not each
What
other's
they
best
tell you and
friends.
what they do and what they tell each other is two different things.
That's true, but I know that to be a fact. We can agree to disagree on that. But so four yeses, 2 nos. Do you say?
I don't know.
You're
I'm
like-
like going
you're like
back and forth
borderline.
right now. So for me, it's like especially when I date women. Oh, it's running out of time.
Yeah, can you
I don't
make
know.
your point in 50 seconds?
No, it's good.
20
It's good.
She's Hispanic. It's gonna take like 15. I'm
Well,
just kidding.
so I guess
I'm good. I'll save it for the next time.
I should have hit these earlier.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in.